XC60 is definitely one of the best sellers of the brand Volvo. Since they've launched the car in 2008, they sold more than 1 million units of this car. Now they present the brand new model. If it's any better and how it drives, let's find out now. The front of the new XC60 looks a lot more fresh, a lot more modern than the predecessor. And there are two things that really directly catches your eyes when you look at the front of the car. One thing is the new grille, which is the so-called waterfall design grille. And this one comes with these vertical bars in here. And I think that really looks absolutely great at that car. And the other thing are the headlights, because they come as standard as full LED headlights. And on top you find this typical T-shaped LED daytime running lights. They call it Thor's hammer. Looking at the side of the car, the first thing that catches your eyes, I think, are these big rims here. These are 19-inch alloys, but important is the car comes as standard with a base model with 18-inch alloys. Overall, the new XC60 hasn't grown a lot regarding to the exterior, but more important, the wheelbase has grown by 9 centimeters, and that really gives you loads of extra space at the interior. Overall, the shape of the car looks, I think, very stretched, very dynamic. One reason for that are the overhangs front and rear. They're quite short, and the glass house really is at the very end of the car, so that really gives them extra dynamic. What I really like here at the side of the car is this chrome part down here, this panel, and this shows you the trim level of your car. Ours is inscription. We're talking about an SUV with the XC60, and this means you have to talk about ground clearance. The new one offers 21 centimeters. Looking at the rear of the car, the first thing that you see, it looks a lot like its predecessor, but I think more elegant. One reason for that is that the design over here, which goes down to the wheel arches, is more soft and more stylish, and that really gives the car an extra push. But you find things you know from Volvo as well, like these taillights here. It's typical Volvo shape, but now they come as LED taillights. Another new thing is we have these two chrome exhausts here, which I think they look a lot more stylish and they really fit the car perfectly. Overall, when you look at the rear of the car, it really stands very solidly on the road, but I think more beautiful than the predecessor. The boot size is 505 liters with the rear seats up, but if you use this extra space down here, that could increase up to 635 liters. If you fold down the rear seats, which you can do easily from here, the boot size increases up to 1,432 liters. What I really like with the car is you can, if you want to put stuff in it, you're not as long and strong as I am, lower the car by just pressing a button. Quite quick and easy. The car we're driving today is the Volvo XC60 D5, which means this is a 4-cylinder 2-liter diesel engine, and that offers 235 horsepower, 480 Newton meters of maximum torque. That's enough to accelerate the car in only 7.2 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Top speed is 220. I think that's more than sufficient for a car like this. When we're talking about fuel consumption, Volvo says regarding to the figures, the car should take 5.5 liters in average per 100 kilometer driven. We're about 4 liters above that figure, but to be really honest, we're only driving the car inside a city. We do very often stop, so I think you should expect something about 7. Like with all the other new Volvo models, the XC60 will only come with 4-cylinder 2-liter engines. They will deliver a power range between 190 up to 407 horsepower. The entrance model will be the so-called D4, which is the diesel engine, and that comes with all-wheel drive. It's 190 horsepower strong. The top engine will be the so-called TA twin engine. That's a plug-in hybrid, and that delivers up to 407 horsepower. All cars that they will deliver when the car hits the market will come as standard with all-wheel drive and the 8-speed automatic gearbox. Later, there will be available cars with smaller, less powerful engines, as well as front-driven cars then, and cars with manual gearboxes. The interior of the XC60 really shows what you can deliver today. We find very, very nice materials, really great craftsmanship. Even the colors are really nice, so the car works perfectly here at the interior. When you're looking at the seats, for instance, they come as standard as electric seats at the front. Very important is when you sit on them for the first time, they feel a bit hard, but I have to be honest, they're really comfortable when you sit in the car for a while, so when you get used to it. And I have to say, driving the car really is a great pleasure. Very important, you can now have a full digital cockpit if you want, and you will of course find the infotainment unit with the upright display of the touchscreen, which you find in all of the new Volvo models. Volvo says they want to make it happen that nobody will be heavily injured or will die inside a Volvo having an accident from the year 2020 onwards. And so this is one of the reasons why, of course, you find all the modern driver assistance safety systems Volvo offers inside of the XC60 as well. So you can have a rear cross traffic alert, you can have adaptive cruise control, or the other stuff you know from Volvo as well. But on top of this, they do have a city emergency braking system, which they call City Safety. And that does not only brake autonomously if necessary, it also uses the steering if only braking doesn't prevent the impact. Volvo offers 3 different trim levels for the XC60 at the moment. These are Momentum, Inscription and R-Design. Momentum is the base, so the entrance model. R-Design is the most sportiest version. And when you look at the exterior of the car, there are some differences regarding to these different trim levels. For instance, with our Inscription, we do have this standard so-called waterfall design grille here at the front. If you buy R-Design, that'll be completely black and you will find horizontal lines. On top of this, with the R-Design, this one here will completely, so the air intake will be completely black and it looks a lot bigger there. When you then look at the side of the car, with the R-Design, you will not find the standard colored rear view mirrors. They will come in matte silver and the chrome element will be gone as well. When we're talking about the space the car offers, I have to say, even me as a tall driver, I sit absolutely comfortably in the car. There's more than enough space for me as well as for my co-driver. And even behind me, I think there is sufficient room for a standard adult, even for a longer trip. The main competitors of the Volvo XC60 are cars like the BMW X3, but I think the X3 looks a lot more rough because it's more boxy. And there are other cars like the Mercedes GLC, or now new, the Stelvio from Alfa Romeo. And of course, if it regards to shape, of course, the new Jaguar F-Pace. But I think the Volvo, when you look at its competitors, it's a bit different because it's not only elegant, it also becomes quite sporty. The new XC60 is a lot more modern than its predecessor, and that's not only regarding to the exterior or interior design, that's of course the same when it comes to the technology. You find all the modern stuff on board and the car drives absolutely well. When you look at its competitors, I think the car is well priced, so there is not a big difference, but this car really features an absolutely unique and very beautiful look, and I think that really makes it special.